5 News at Noon starts now.
As students take the field again for school sports, doctors say parents should be on high alert when it comes to concussions and safety. We'll show you the warning signs you shouldn't ignore. And getting around just got easier for some. Ozark Regional Transit launching a new app for on-demand rides. We'll show you how it works. Thank you for joining us today for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with meteorologist Danny Cassidy.
Hello.
It's Wednesday, middle of the week, and it's been another really nice week. Warming up a little bit, though.
Yes, warming up a little bit. Not necessarily the hottest we've ever seen. It's pretty typical for this time of year, but you're kind of walking out there like, it's a little sticky. You're up in the shirt a little bit. We'll show you what's going on right now outside. Head on over to Poteau, 81 degrees there in eastern Oklahoma. Dew point is 70. So yeah, it is a little bit sticky with all that rain we've seen over the past week. It's adding up, and with that leftover moisture, yeah, things are a little bit soupy. Again, not the worst, but dew points in the upper 60s, around 70. It's going to create some little bit muggy conditions. Otherwise, we're seeing those puffy cumulus clouds develop. Hey, now it just went up to 82, and the dew point went down. So there we go. Feels pretty nice out there, but the feels like remains about the same. Those clouds you can see are bubbling in over the last hour, kind of like it usually does during the afternoon hours of a summer day. But otherwise, it's just going to be that cloud cover. Any rain is going to stay off to our south and to our east. So for the rest of this afternoon, it's going to feel pretty nice. Northwest Arkansas will be in the mid 80s for this afternoon. And as we're heading to the overnight hours, clouds will build in as a weak cold front moves in, but I think for the most part we're going to stay dry as it's going to kind of fall apart by the time it gets here. For the River Valley, and we'll see a few kind of clouds during the afternoon, otherwise mostly sunny to sunny skies. Those temperatures into the upper 80s, and again cooling off a little bit into the lower 70s by the time we hit the overnight hours. So again, can't rule out a stray storm late tonight and early tomorrow, as well as Friday, but Friday night into Saturday is when that chance really picks up, and then I think quiets down after Saturday. So we'll talk more about the specific rain chances, get you ready for a big cool down this weekend coming up in your full forecast. Morgan.
Thanks, Danny. And right now at noon, we're learning right now that crews are responding to an apartment fire in Fort Smith. It was reported at the Midtown Apartments on Rogers Avenue. According to Eric Mitchell with the Fort Smith Police, one person was injured due to the fire inside the apartment. But Mitchell does say that none of these injuries were life-threatening. Well, after more than a year of searching and one failed hire, the city of Fort Smith now has a new internal auditor. City directors hired Amanda Strange, who's worked with the city's Human Resources Department. The position had been vacant since April of last year when Tracy Shockley resigned after 9 years with the city. Well, with school back in session and fall sports starting, doctors say it's a good time to talk about concussions. Athletes may try to tough it out, but playing through a concussion can actually double recovery time. That's why they say awareness and education are crucial. Concussions can present in many ways, but common symptoms include headaches, dizziness, nausea, sensitivity to light or noise, irritability, and changes in sleep or behavior. Dr. R.J. Elbin, director of the Office for Sport Concussion Research at the University of Arkansas, says they're not always obvious. That's why he stresses the importance of recognizing the symptoms and taking them seriously. He says collision sports like football, soccer, hockey, lacrosse, and wrestling carry a higher risk due to frequent high-impact contact. For sports that require helmets, Dr. Elbin says proper fit and correct use are critical. The good news is awareness and proper treatment around concussions is growing.
We know more about concussions now than what we ever have before. Sports have never been safer. If you think about advances in equipment, advances in knowledge, advances in clinical care, look at the rule changes, the mandatory trainings that people have to go through. There's more and more centers of excellence that are even providing telehealth services for people to get in front of the right provider that really knows what they're doing with this injury.
He encourages parents to consult a specialist if they think their child might have a concussion. Well, shelves are emptying across Arkansas as stores are pulling vape products that are now banned under state law. The new law shuts down the use of disposable vapes that had slipped past federal rules. The original draft of the law called for a complete ban on all vape products by requiring them to be listed on a product registry. But after lobbying led to some changes, small business owners came around to support it.
We were okay with it because we were able to truly help people. We know, at least here at my store, I know exactly what you're going to be putting into your body, what you're going to be vaping, what the ingredients are.
This comes as the U.S. cracks down on Chinese disposables that flooded the market. The state has approved 12 vape product brands that shops can sell. Well, the murder trial against 27-year-old Jason Lawson continues today in Washington County. Lawson is accused of killing his roommate after an argument last June. A welfare check led police to find 33-year-old Benjamin Martin dead at their apartment on the kitchen floor. Lawson was arrested the next day, and he was also charged with evidence tampering. Police say he had poured gasoline on and around Martin's body. Now, Tuesday, the jury was selected. Opening statements were made. 5 News reporter Bo Russell is in the courtroom now as it moves forward. We'll have the latest here on 5 News this evening. Well, an update in the deadly shooting that happened across the street from Siloam Springs Intermediate School on Friday. Police are sharing the names of the victim and another suspect. Police say the man killed in the shooting was Emmanuel Tucker. They've arrested 19-year-old Braylon Ferris and 15-year-old Kyle McIntyre. The county prosecutor says McIntyre is being charged as an adult in connection with capital murder. Ferris is charged with capital murder, among other charges. You can read more details on our website, 5newsonline.com. Well, Ozark Regional Transit is responding after a recent boom in ridership. ORT has launched a new app offering on-demand rides for $1.25. Users can use the app to request that ride, and a smaller van can come pick them up. Jeff Hatley with ORT says if they have a driver, they can make it work. He says this is less about the money and more about making sure people are able to get wherever they need to go.
Private company is all about making a profit, and what can we do to entice people to use our service as opposed to our competitors. Our goal is to give as many people many rides to people who need rides as possible.
Bus ridership has increased so much in the area that ORT is looking to expand its hours on Saturday to be full service. Well, accusers of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell gathered on Capitol Hill this morning to share their stories. They held a news conference with 2 lawmakers who are pushing for the release of all files related to the Epstein case. Natalie Brand has the details from Washington.
We're in a sorority that none of us asked to join.
Accusers of the late Jeffrey Epstein, along with their families and advocates, are fighting for transparency.
He was an international human trafficker.
The women say they want the public to know what they endured.
Protect the vulnerable, not the powerful. Protect children and survivors.
The news conference comes as Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky and Democratic Representative Ro Khanna of California are leading a bipartisan effort to try and force a vote requiring the Justice Department to turn over all files related to the case.
There is something that is rotten in Washington. Less than 1% of these files have been released.
The lawmakers are pressuring the Trump administration to disclose more information about the criminal probes and recently subpoenaed the Justice Department for Epstein records.
Analysis by CBS News found much of the release had already been made public, but did include unseen surveillance video outside Epstein's jail cell on the night he died by suicide, as well as the disgraced financier's flight logs documenting travel with young women.
It's so hard to begin to heal knowing that there are people out there who know more about my abuse than I do.
House Speaker Mike Johnson was among the lawmakers who met privately with victims on Tuesday, calling them courageous.
There were tears in the room. There was outrage. It was both, I would describe it as heartbreaking and infuriating that justice has been delayed so long.
It is a cover-up of epic proportions.
Other lawmakers say the House Speaker and colleagues are not doing enough to bring transparency and accountability. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump announced Tuesday that a U.S. military strike killed 11 people on a drug-laden boat in the Caribbean as the Navy boosts its presence in the region. A video posted by President Trump on social media shows the moment he says the U.S. military took out a boat headed from Venezuela to the U.S. that was filled with drugs. In recent weeks, the Pentagon has sent battleships and more than 2,500 Marines toward Venezuela's coast.
As long as those vessels are in the region and as long as the president's in the White House, he's made very clear he's not going to allow the United States to continue to be flooded with cocaine and fentanyl.
Yesterday, Venezuela's communication minister claimed without evidence that the video President Trump posted was AI generated. President Trump previously signed an executive order directing the State Department to designate cartels and transnational gangs as foreign terrorist organizations. Well, new wildfires are raging in California, including one that's already burned down homes in the historic gold rush town of Chinese Camp. It's one of multiple wildfires that have combined, burning more than 12,000 acres in the Sierra Nevada. Jonathan Vigliotti has a story.
An all-out assault on the ground and in the air as firefighters battle thousands of acres up in flames in the Sierra Nevada region of California, sparked by dry lightning storms with little to no rain that hit the region yesterday. The largest fire is burning 6,400 acres, consuming the historic gold rush town of Chinese Camp, 2 hours southeast of Sacramento.
Went home, checked on everything, and I got the word that I needed to use. I had to grab some things and I snayed.
Evacuations were ordered there yesterday and in 2 neighboring counties as the blaze spread. But lifelong resident Selena Moyle stayed behind. Her home is one of the few that still stands.
Quiet little place, so it'll be pretty quiet now. There's really nothing left. Nothing at all.
9 wildfires in Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Stanislaus counties have combined into the now dubbed TCU September Lightning Complex, burning more than 12,000 acres in total. The growing inferno fanned by strong winds gusting 50 miles an hour and 100-degree temperatures. The hot, windy weather is also challenging firefighters to the south. The Garnet Fire in eastern Fresno County has burned more than 28,000 acres.
They're going to be dry lightning, and with the outflow gusty winds is always a concern for firefighters.
Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Los Angeles.